and welcome to another edition of Kogi in Focus, your weekly spotlight on happenings in and around Kogi State in north-central Nigeria. I am Oluwatosin Osuji. Welcome. On the program today, a topsy-turvy week in court for embattled Kogi West Senator Dino Melaye. Kogi State workers join their counterparts across the globe to celebrate this year's Workers' Day as government pledges to improve on their welfare. And workers' welfare is a topic for discussion on this week's Views from the Streets. All these and more when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. Last week was very eventful for the senator representing Kogi West, Dino Melaye. On Wednesday, Senator Melaye was arraigned before an Abuja magistrate court, accused of attempting to escape from police custody while being taken to Lokoja court to answer charges of criminal conspiracy and unlawful possession of firearms. He was granted bail by the judge, only to be arrested again to answer the same criminal conspiracy charges before the Lokoja Magistrate Court. He was denied bail and remanded in custody until the June 11 date for the adjourned hearing. In another twist, the Kogi State Chief Judge, Nasir Ajana, at the High Court in Lokoja on Friday, granted an interim order allowing him to be transferred to the National Hospital in Abuja, where he can receive medical treatment for injuries appeared to have been sustained in an initial attempt to take him to Lokoja.
He should be remanded, but under the custody of the Inspector General of Police, who should ensure good and adequate medical facilities for him. We are already taking steps to get him out on bail.
Dino Melaye's counsel made a fresh bail application, which it says is key to saving his client's life.
The court therefore went ahead and varied the ruling of the magistrate court, Lokoja, to say that Dino Melaye, between today and Monday, when the application for his bail comes up, should be taken by the police to the National Hospital Abuja for proper medical attention.
The Kogi State government says its civil servants should expect deliberate efforts from the state government to improve their welfare. Deputy Governor Simon Achuba, who said this while representing the governor during this year's Workers' Day celebration in Lokoja, said the Kogi State government supports agitation for a new minimum wage.
As workers in Kogi State join their counterparts across Nigeria to celebrate this year's Workers' Day, the chairman of the Kogi State chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Onu Eduka, said the theme of this year's May Day, Dare to Struggle, Dare to Win, is a reminder to the labor union to be steadfast in its demands from government for what is due its workers.
Our critical demand is that those periods for which bailout came, parish fund came, and government was unable, despite the screen exercise, did not pay all these workers at their own area. We are calling for government to investigate those who paid salary at that time and what amount of money did they use in paying this salary, that this money did not go around.
He appealed to government to make workers' salary a top priority.
Things are beginning to pick up because in terms of salary payments, we are seeing that those who are on current pay of workers have gotten their February salary, and those who have been on arrears in the course of the screening exercise, we are still talking with government with a view and hope that government will look into it and paying it soon.
Kogi State Deputy Governor Simon Achuba said the union and government are on the same page as regards commitment to workers' welfare. He also explained the state government's readiness to key into the nationwide plan for a national minimum wage.
We want to promise you that we will take better steps on all matters regarding salary in the future to ensure that you have your salary as at when due.
Achuba spoke the federal government's decision to remove Ajakuta Iron and Steel Company from the list of establishments slated for concession or privatization.
The National Assembly has appropriated funds for the takeoff of Ajakuta Steel Rolling Mill. What was initially proposed was that it should be privatized, but that has been removed. And so under the circumstance, Ajokuta cannot be privatized anymore. We know the benefits of Ajokuta. We know the support that it will bring to our people. We know that we are the first beneficiary if it takes off. And so as a government, we are giving it all it takes to ensure the takeoff of Ajokuta.
Achuba promised that government will pay all outstanding salaries to those who government has placed on clemency list after the screening exercise. Other union representatives described the turnout as a wake-up call for the government to begin to take staff welfare seriously.
It's a low-key celebration, and with the speech of the Deputy Governor, it gives us hope of better tomorrow, which we believe it will be.
One thing I want the government to do, but whether I don't know of federal or state, but concerning this our state, you see in this state, if you are a civil servant, once you die, that is the end. Nobody wants to know how your children are living. I want the government to please, at least let there be a forum where they can attend to widows in this state.
We are praying that something better will come in place. And I surely know that the whole workers of Nigeria, they will enjoy. Nigeria will change.
But if a Ajokuta company is completed by the federal government as its own property, then operationalized, and the place is working very well, then the government can start thinking about privatization. But now, I believe that the issue of privatization of Ajokuta is not a welcome development.
The salary of workers in USD compared to other African countries in Europe, you discover that we are paying peanuts. So you don't expect so much from workers when you are paying peanuts.
Federal government should try and add more allocation to the state government so that the cries of the workers in the state will be solved.
Kogi State is still on the watch list of the labor unions among states that are struggling to pay its workers' salaries. The state recently hosted the North Central States tripartite meeting on minimum wage, where the state government expressed the hope for increased allocation to enable states pay the proposed monthly figure of 66,500 naira.
In a related development, the chairman of the Galamela or Dolu local government, Baron Okoli, says he supports the decision of the state government as regards the current new minimum wage clamor. He said he trusts the Yaya Bello government's judgment on the issue.
Because of the welfare of the workers, so many sacrifices have been done by this administration to make sure that every legitimate worker goes home with his pay full, 100%. We have not reached there yet, but definitely we are going there. So we are, as a government, promising our workers that the bad days are over. We can only get better.
Labour union members in the council also voiced their opinions.
Prayer is that the local government, the state government, and the federal, they go into the same market to buy. We don't have segmented markets. And since it is like that, and we have 3 tiers government, both local, state, and the federal should be looked into. And we are praying that the living wage as well, which is known as the minimum wage, if agreed, should be approved for a common local government workers to enjoy him or herself. My advice is, to whom much is given, much is expected. I know definitely if the situation as regards to their welfare is improved, definitely, I trust my workers, they will definitely comply. Because as it is now, some of them, this money they are giving them is nothing to write home about.
The Kogi State government has embarked on a training program for chemists across the 21 local government areas on best ways to treat under-5s for illnesses and diseases like malaria, pneumonia, and cholera before taking such children to the hospital. The coordinator of the program, Yetunde Adedoyin, explained the importance of extending such knowledge to chemists.
We are building their capacity. The way they have been doing it before, we want to change it. Because these children are dying in their hands. And we don't want them to die. And that is why we are training them on how to properly manage this child. When they come to their shop, they will first assess the child. There's a form they will fill. And after assessing this child, they will know what is wrong with this child and be able to apply the correct treatment.
They have been trying their best. They are the first contact in the community. There's no community or settlement you get in this local government that you cannot find them. And so when we had the privilege of this training, we're happy because it will drastically reduce the mortality rate of the underprivileged.
The program beneficiaries also expressed delight at the healthcare initiative.
People that train us, they make us understand much about how to take care of the child. They taught us very well and we learned, and I believe every one of us will learn.
Ida and Okei are the first local government areas to benefit from the program. It was a colorful celebration for the Ogori Mangongo people as they celebrated the Owiya Osese festival, which is a symbolic initiation of young females into womanhood. Dignitaries from near and far joined in the celebration and called on the people to support the state government's effort at projecting their culture.
Excellency, Alhaji Yahya Adola Bello's achievement, especially in carrying Ogorimagogo along in the scheme of things, must be reciprocated with the total and overwhelming support of our people.
The Owiya Festival is not only social, cultural, social dynamic, as I see it, but a yardstick meant to set the bars of moral rectitude the girl child till she marries, and also an imposition of an obligation to guide and guard their daughters from a childhood and from adolescence to full womanhood. The full joy of this occasion will only be complete when the Owiya celebration of today will be able to prove to your husband your chastity a day after your marriage, and who will in turn confirm same to your parents. Then the joy of the Owiya festival will be full.
All I can say, step up the game.
of May every year is celebrated globally as World Press Freedom Day. It's a day set aside for journalists and the world at large to take stock of the level of press freedom being enjoyed in their respective climes and situations, and where press freedom has been abused by practitioners. The theme for this year's celebration is Keeping Power in Check, Media, Justice, and the Rule of Law. The chairman of the Kogi State chapter of Nigeria Union of Journalists, Momo Adeza, says the theme is apt considering present-day development.
Aside the fact that it entertains, educates, and gives information, it also goes a long way in keeping government in check. To me, freedom is not just absence of arrest, intimidation, closure of media houses. Economic freedom is also another very integral part of the press freedom that we need to fight and win. I want to beg government in power to tolerate, try as much as possible to tolerate other views. Because if you are a government and you're not criticized, then it's a danger for you. Because you might not know where you are doing well, you're not doing well. So that's why criticism is an integral part of democracy. Any government that does not want criticism, then you are heading towards anarchy, and by the time the result comes, it will be very, very catastrophic. At a point, what we now know as traditional media was a new media, in the sense that when newspaper came to being, the television, radio was not there. At the time the TV and radio, were coming, it was posing a challenge to the traditional media then, that is the newspaper. But at a point, there was that point of convergence through legislation and what have you, people streamline their activities. So I think we need to do that to ensure that these people who are operating this online conform with the ethics of this profession.
The Kogi State Government's Director General of Information and Grassroots Sensitization had words of advice for journalists.
In Nigeria, for instance, the advent of the current republic, democratic governance, since the closure of the 90s, has actually permeated a very elastic environment for the practice of journalism. Modern day employers have developed, many of them have developed the penchant for not paying their workers as at when due. And deliberately they do so that they can weaken the practice of journalism among their employees. And this is one critical area that I think if we're discussing press freedom in Nigeria today, we have to look at that angle. The online facility, the social media, has also come to challenge the traditional media further. That no, what you are doing in the print and the broadcasting, we can also break the news simultaneously at all time. It's a good development. It should not be seen as a threat, but rather we should seek into consolidating. And many media houses are already doing that. Many newspaper houses are already having online platform. Many broadcast organizations are also having online platform. But those anarchists who call themselves critics, no, we say no to them. Because to be a critic, you have to look at both sides of the coin. When you are saying the government is doing bad in this way, you should also appreciate where it is doing well. So when you put the two on the scale and you weigh, you say, okay, government, no, this is what is left. Why don't you go this way? No responsible leadership will not encourage that.
You're watching Kogi in Focus, a weekly in-depth review of happenings and developments in and around Kogi, Nigeria's confluent state. For your contributions and other placement, don't hesitate to contact us through our phone numbers and social media handles displayed on your screen.
Nigeria's confluent state, the country's melting pot, where almost anything and everything can happen. From the governor to the farmer, from politics to entertainment, from the economy to sports and tourism. We've got you covered on these and a whole lot more on Kogi in Focus. Kogi in Focus, a weekly review of development in and around Kogi State. Stay abreast with what you need to know on Kogi in Focus on your channel of choice, Africa Independent Television. Kogi in Focus, reaching everywhere, informing everybody.
in the program, we brought you scenes and reactions as Kogi State workers joined their counterparts across the globe to celebrate this year's Workers' Day, celebrated annually on May the 1st. We sought the views of the people on the responsibilities of employers and employees in ensuring a better deal for all.
Well, looking at it from the past, we had when a situation whereby the government have approved 18,000 minimum wage for the workers, and yet some states have not implemented that up to date. And now workers have come on stage to demand for 65,000 minimum wage. I think in one aspect I expect government to look onto is that aspect of the state government. Some of the state government that have not approved theirs, they needed to have approved their own. Let them implement their own so that they'll start paying them before we talk of 65,000 minimum wage.
Fighting for the minimum wage and then going on incessant striking whereby the structure and the system will collapse is not the best. I know that there was the first minimum wage that was approved by the government. That has not been paid. And another one is coming. And then because of this fight for minimum wage, the whole system of the government, workers are not going to work to do what they are expected to do because of this minimum wage. In as much as they are fighting for their right, for their entitlement, they should fight it with wisdom, with understanding, with patience, to see that we are all part and parcel of this government, that we are all contributing to the success and the growth of the government.
I don't support the idea of minimum wage increase because the minimum wage is not the minimum wage that is our problem, the workers. Our problem is that let there be a reduction in inflation. Even if they increase the minimum wage today, as long as there's still inflation, the money will not have any value to the workers. So it's for our currency to have what? Value. If the currency cannot be, if you can have more value for the naira to the dollar, then it will be better than even increasing money.
This is where we wrap it up on today's edition of the program. Until we come your way next week, same time, same station. Please keep doing to others what you want them to do to you. I'm Oluwatosin Osiji. Bye for now.